Assalamualaikum and hello YouTube. My name is Nur Muhammad from NMWatch, and we are back with what do you call this? My suggestion for watches or military style watches under $500. So when you talk about military style, there are two styles of watches that you can that immediately come up to my mind, which is one is a field watch and also another one is pilot's watch, right? So today we're going to take a quick look at a few categories up until from under $100 up to $500, right? So let's start with the first watch, which is this quick wristwatch check for today. This is my Seiko 5 SNK381, right? So you can easily find this watch in under $100, maybe around, I think now this thing is I think it will cost you around $80. So of course there's also the SNK 803, 805 or 807 series, but I think this version, the SNK 381, is a bit it's not really being recognized by watch enthusiasts around the world, so I think I should be highlighting it much more compared to that, to the SNK series, right? So 37 millimeters in diameter, I think lug to lug at about 43 millimeters, what is lug width of 18 millimeters, and of course using that 7S26 Seiko automatic non-hacking movement. But the real attraction for this particular piece is for me the dial, right? So the matte black dial featuring these big Arabic numerals. The lume on this thing is absolutely crazy, guys. So this one, I think it has the same level of lume such as your usual Seiko divers, right? So that is watch number one. $80, depending on where you search or where you shop at, and yeah, absolute bargain for the money in my opinion, right? So this is under $100. Of course, you can also pick a few other Seiko 5 as well, but I think this is the best bang for buck, right? So next up is, of course, I'm gonna be putting the Saint Martin pilot watch, right? So this one is the SN0030Q2. This one is using this bronze case. They also produce a few other pilot watches as well. For around $150. This one costs a bit more at $170, but of course, as for the Saint Martin or any AliExpress brand watches, do get them during the sale line, right? So then at that time they are an absolute bargain in my opinion, right? So sapphire crystal printed with this what do you call this, A-type dial with an awesome super duper lume on this particular piece, and of course bronze case, which is very cool, right? So I just love how the bronze turn after a while, right? So even when I took it out of the box, when I touched the surface of the case, it immediately changed the color, right? So that is very cool in my opinion. Of course, bronze watch is not for everybody, but you can always pick another version or the stainless steel version of the exact same watch, right? So 39 millimeters in diameter, lug to lug at a bit long at 49 millimeters, and a very versatile 20 millimeters lug width and a thickness of just about 12 millimeters. I think this is an absolute bargain for the price, and of course it is using the YN55 movement, which is a hacking and hand winding movement, right? So awesome piece for the money, right? So this one is, I think, $150 to $170, right? So next up is another Seiko. So this time around we have the successor to the SNK series. So I think this one is SRPH Seiko 5 Sports SRPH 219K1. This one is the dial with those with this B-type dial, B-type pilot style, right? So they also comes with a few other versions with the military style field style watch, right? So they also came with a few different finishing as well. So my version has this brush finishing, which I prefer compared to the polished version, and we have that B-type dial here with the Arabic numerals on the outer side, and the hour markers and at the inner side of the dial, right? So I think this version SRPH something came with this green colorway and also blue and some white colorway, which is for me looks absolutely awesome in my opinion, right? So yeah, the case size, they stand in between the SNK series and the SR, was it SNZH, so the other military style watch from Seiko. I mean the older version, right? So this one came in 39.5 millimeters in diameter and a lug to of I think at about 48 millimeters, and a thickness, right? The thickness is quite thick on this one at about 13.5 I think. So yeah, that's a bit too tall when you considering that this is a military or pilot watch style, right? So yeah, of course it is using the 4R36 movement, and you can see it at the display case back from here, right? So yeah, awesome piece for the money. You can get this at less than $200 these days, right? So awesome piece. Of course we will do a loom check later on, guys. Right, so next up is the watch category under $300, and I will start with the Marathon GPQ, right? So this is, if you guys know already, you guys know your watches, your military watches. So Marathon produce and still supply their watches to the military all over the world, to the American government and quite a lot of other governments as well. So the only downside of this particular piece is the size of the case, right? So it is 34 millimeters in diameter and this 16 millimeters lug width, right? So that makes it a bit difficult to find a strap replacement and it is using a fixed bar spring bar here. But you know what, this supplied standard strap is, you know, good enough for daily use. And yeah, I've been using this on this particular strap, and yeah, it's cool, right? So the other thing is that it is using a quartz movement. So oops, sorry. So you can see that the first three is, you know, using an automatic movement, but I don't really mind it because you know what, sometimes you just don't really bother, don't really have the time to set up your watches, and this is where this, you know, this kind of grab and go watches is important to have in your collection, right? So, and the other attraction for me for this particular piece is that those tritium tube, right? So this thing, when you wear it in the dark, it just glows, guys. Very cool glow in the dark. And of course, if it is good enough for a military personnel, I think it is good enough for us civilians, right? So yeah, awesome looking, awesome piece from Marathon, right? So this one will cost you retailing for at about $250, but of course you can get them a lot cheaper than that. But that is why I'm going to be putting it under the USD 300 category. So let's just go for the next one, which is another Saint Martin, right? So in one look at this one, you'll know that this is an homage of a certain T brand, right? So T brand with the R model, right? So of course this one is, you know, I'm going to be calling this a field watch because of the aesthetic looks of it. We have this 12369 printed in Arabic numerals, and we have an almost all brush finish surface and on the side and on the top, so that makes it a very capable field watch, right? So, and I think this one came with a 100 meters of water resistance. You can swim with it, no issue with, I think. And the most important bit is that, you know, it is using a what was it, this one is using a Seiko NH35 movement, and yeah, it looks absolutely cool. And of course, Saint Martin produces, you know, one of the best case finishing on the AliExpress market. So this bracelet is definitely, I think it is one of the best, if not the best, right? So case finishing is top notch, and the class is beautifully done. You can't really complain, but of course you still can complain because this thing, when it is initially sold, it was sold at about $250. But of course, whenever you are considering Saint Martin or any other AliExpress brands for that matter, so do get them during the AliExpress sales. And of course, I will leave a link down below for with my discount code, right? So okay, so yeah, 39 millimeters in diameter, I think it is 47.6 millimeters from lug to lug, and a thickness of just 12 millimeters, making it a very easy watch to use day in and day out, right? So next up for the under $300 category is my latest acquisition. This is the RZE Valour 38, right? So This one is unique because the price is during the Kickstarter program, during Kickstarter campaign, it was sold at about 219 US dollars. But of course, the Kickstarter has already finished, and now they are retailing at about $299, right? So what do you get for 299 US dollars? You've got titanium case, right? So for just over 50 bucks compared to that Saint Martin, you're gonna get titanium case with the hex coating, which is, you know, their scratch resistance coating. They say that this coating can stand up to 1200 vickers in scratch protection. So yeah, I don't know, I only had this for about 3 days now, so I haven't put any scratches on this yet, but yeah, still a nice option. If you can get it for that 219 US dollars. Even at 299, it is still a good bargain, yeah, but not that good as the price that I've got, right? So very, very beautiful case here, very, very angular case. So Saint Martin has, sorry, RZE has upped their game, so now they have usually they produce watches with a bit blasted finishing. Now it is bit blasted on the side, but brush on this side, on this beveling, right? So, and again, bit blasted finishing on the top. So even on the lug, sorry, on this bezel, they are using the same brush finishing. It is quite difficult to brush a titanium case, right? So, and sapphire crystal with that white dial, right? So the only downside to this particular piece is that the lume is not going to be that good, but still it is not that bad, right? So it is still long lasting, but not that bright. So, and of course, being a titanium watch, it is very, very light at under 60 grams, right? 39, almost 38, I think 38.8 millimeters in diameter, lug to lug of just 45.7, and a thickness of just under 12 millimeters with a 20 millimeters lug, making it one of the, you know, most versatile watches in the market today, right? If you, all right, so that's this. So we have, next up, we're gonna go to under 400 US dollars category. So let's start with another Saint Martin, right? So this is one of my favorite, I think easily my favorite Saint Martin for 2022. This is the SN021, right? So when you see this, you know that this is an homage of a certain R brand. So I'm not gonna be mentioning any names. So, but yeah, still the 369 gives the look. But you know what? 37 millimeters in diameter is just, I didn't know that I really like this size. It's definitely perfect for my wrist. And the lug to lug of just under, I think, 46 millimeters, and the thickness of under 11 millimeters, because it is using a PT5000 movement, an ETA 2824 clone, which runs at, you know, 28,800 beats per hour, right? So yeah, very, very easy to wear case, and I just love this box dome sapphire crystal, is because that thing is expensive as well. And yeah, for under 300 US dollars, of course, you can, normally they retail for around 330, but during the sales you can easily get this under 300 US dollars. So, but still, I'm going to be putting it at the under 400 US dollar category, because it is, you know, based on the retail price. But yeah, if you can get this under 300 US dollars, you know what, it's definitely a good buy, right? So of course, we're going to have an awesome lume application on any Saint Martin for that matter, right? So next up is the next watch under 400 US dollars category is my DIY Watch Club Expedition series, right? So this one is a bit difficult because you're gonna be spending I think about 320 US dollars to get a basic set, right? So, and you can upgrade to this flat sapphire crystal for, I think, at additional 20 US dollars, and you can also upgrade to this, what do you call this, that's rotor, sign rotor, right? So engraved rotor. So basically you can you can blow up to maybe 400 US dollars for one of these. But like I mentioned in my video review, this DIY Watch Club watches is you're not buying the watch, you're buying the experience of assembling the watch yourself, right? So that is what you're buying, right? 38 millimeters in diameter, lug to lug of, I think, at about 47 millimeters, and a thickness of about 13 millimeters, making it one of the thickest watch around here. But I don't really mind it, because I can see that beautifully done rotor there with my logo on it, and I can see this sapphire dial, right? So very cool looking watch. But yeah, still, if you want to challenge yourself by assembling your watch, so this is one of the options available for you, right? So that is the watch under 400. Next up, the last watch for under 400 US dollars category is this Vario trench watch, right? So I've got this from Ivan from Vario Singapore, right? So he's the owner of Vario Singapore. I've been working with him, reviewing his straps and everything, and watch accessories. So yeah, and finally I've got to review this one and he decided to give it to me, right? So thank you very much, Ivan from Vario Singapore, for the gift, right? So what's so special about this one then? So this one is an homage of a trench watch that's used during the World War One watches, right? So you can see that we have this fixed lugs here. So yeah, that is for me it is a quite unique feature, because and one, of course, it limits the straps that you could use, but yeah, still it's quite unique for what it is, right? So micro brands get away with these things because they want to be a little bit different compared to the usual market, right? So 37 millimeters in diameter. I think the lug to lug is about 46 millimeters and the thickness of about 11 millimeters, because it is using a Miyota movement. I don't really remember the Miyota movement number, but of course I will leave a comment down below. And yeah, we have that beautifully done enamel dial with that orange printed hour markers, right? So yeah, of course there are tons of World War One inspired watches that has this what do you call this, Arabic numerals, but I just love how this thing looks, right? So second hands second hands dial is at the 6 o'clock, which makes it very cool. And of course you can always engrave it if you like it, right? So this one is a review sample. He engraved it with that my forever hero, right? So yeah, awesome piece. But the only disadvantage of this particular version, at least, is the lume application is not going to be that strong. Of course, it is using this orange color, so it is not going to be that strong, but still a nice option for about 380 US dollars. But of course, you can use my discount code of NMWatch8 to get yourself an 8% discount, right? So next up is the last category, which is a 500 US dollars and below, right? So you can't really go wrong with this one, guys. So this is the Hamilton Khaki Field Automatic. So normally you can find this around 400, but I mentioned 500 US dollars because that is the retail price. So do shop around. You can get this at around 4 to 450 US dollars, and maybe you can get a version with the bracelet, but personally I would skip the bracelet because it is not that good in my opinion, and I would buy it on a leather strap and play around with the play around with another straps, because this thing is a strap monster, right? So 38 millimeters in diameter, a thickness of just about 11 millimeters, a lug to lug of 46, I think, and a lug width of 20 millimeters, making it one of the most versatile field watch that you can have in your collection, right? So, and of course, this is a Swiss made watch, guys. So if you want to get into Swiss made piece, this is one of the best option that you can get for yourself. But the biggest issue for this particular piece, in my opinion, is the lack of AR coating, right? So it's very annoying to get a good picture of this piece, and the lume is not that great, right? So, but of course, one of the advantage of this particular piece, it is using the Hamilton H10 movement, which means that it has 80 hours of power reserve easily. The longest power reserve that from all of this. The watches that I have on the table today, right? So let's just give these watches a quick lume shot and see how they glow in the dark, right? So that is how I usually wanted to end my videos, guys, right? So let's just give them a quick charge. 1, 2, 3. Oop, no need. 4, 5. This one have to give a bit more. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this one also we have to give a bit more. And the Hamilton, yeah, that's totally I don't know, guys, I just don't like the lume on the Hamilton, right? So you guys ready? 3, 2, 1, and boom, right? So yeah, all right, so we have awesome lume here, guys. So I'm gonna be picking up the cheapest one, right? This one, this $80 SNK381, and you compare it to the $500 Hamilton, right? So see how the Seiko loom is way much more brighter than the Hamilton, right? So yep, come on Hamilton, you can do a lot better, right? So, and one of the unique thing is this Seiko SRPH29. So as you can see that there is an orange loom there, which is, you know, it is okay, not that bad, but still it's going to be absolutely beaten by this excellent loom on the San Martin, which is awesome, and the SN0107, the TR homage. And we come to this is one of, you know, this is the RZE, which is not that good, and these are the two San Martin SN021, and also and this is the DIY Watch Club Expedition, right? So, and finally we have this Vario trench watch, which you see is not really that good at all, and the most difficult to see loom is this Marathon GPQ, but I can tell you guys that this is easily the best loom when others have lost their charge. Right, so there you have it, guys, my selection of 10 field watch and military style watch or pilot watch in my collection right now. So which one do you guys think is the best for you? So of course I will leave links, purchase links down below if you guys want to get yourself one of these, right? So if you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more future video reviews such as this one, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Stay safe and bye bye.